So today we'll be installing, actually for this week we're gonna be installing some intake manifold, charge pipe, and all the radiators will be replaced, the CSF, as you can see. Open the hood, the cover. That goes here for now. So far we've jacked up the car. Make sure that the quick jack is on a lock position. We have it in the first one for now, but we'll see if we need to raise it up a little bit more later on. But first, we'll have to remove the battery, at least the negative terminal, and drain the battery for about, I want to say 15 minutes. For me to access my trunk, I have an anchor underneath the trunk. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm removing that bolt that's anchoring the trunk to secure it closed because of the wing. So it only comes with one anchor, so all I have to remove is... Right. So this is the one I'm talking about, where it's an anchor which is connects to this with a bolt to the hole that I created right in here. I'll leave a link on the description where you could order it if you do have a wing. Totally recommended, because these trunks are known to bend over high downforce. And just remove the negative side. Just to be safe, we'll put something around the negative terminal so it doesn't possibly shorten the circuit or the car. Right. So safe. Be sure. There you go. And pretty much that's it for the trunk. While we're waiting for the 15 minutes to completely drain the batteries, we'll start removing some parts that we need to take off. That doesn't require me unplugging any electrical system. Start off by, since we're gonna be installing the charge pipe, we will need to completely remove this all the way down there. Do that. Gotta take off bar. We need to take off both front wheels so we could gain access to the back. So we have removed all the lug nuts securing the wheels. All we have to do now is just pull it off carefully. My wheel setup might be a little bit different from yours because I have aftermarket wheels, but for stocks, they don't have this. This is not included, so just be careful when you're taking off the lug nut that you hold it up to make sure it doesn't fall off. It's been more than 15 minutes. We're gonna start taking off the front bumper to get access to the heat exchangers and the transmission cooler. So for me to remove the bumper, gotta take this off. 10. The top part of the front bumper consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. Put this aside. Since we're gonna have to replace the heat exchangers, we have to remove this so we could get access from the top. Be careful you don't drop this. The fender liner consists of two parts, which is the front and the back one, but we don't need to remove the back part. We just mainly focus in the front to get access to the back area so we could unclip the sensors and get to the bolts of the front bumper right here. Much it so. Whatever I'm doing here is just the exact opposite from the other side. It's gonna be the same area, same bolts that you're gonna be removing, so just follow along. Normally there would be a clip here on here, but since we installed this front splitter, we forgot to put it back, so it's good. Nothing's gonna happen. Just slide it out. There you go. The connector that you have to unplug on this side is right here. It's actually, you have to press this both sides. See? So you can see, both sides have a clip. You push it down. Just like that, we have taken off. So, just gotta take off the whole cover that was right here. It's all 8mm bolt, socket, and just unplug this. It's usually located right here where this tab is. So, same thing goes for the other side. Two bolts comes out. All you have to do now is just bolt carefully. Carefully pull out. There you go. Just want to let you know, it might be a little bit different since I have an aftermarket bumper, and for those who's probably installing this with the OEM bumper, it's probably a little bit easier. as it looks like we're gonna have to remove this whole panel, plastic panel. I'm gonna be removing this. Thing we're gonna need to do is see if I could get some light on that. Let's take off this clip right here. Well, not completely off, but halfway. I'm gonna go take a picture. I don't know if you guys can see it. There. That's it. You don't need to take it off completely. There's a possibility that you might lose it if you do. Gonna need some type of pry bar. We're gonna leave that draining for the whole night, and we'll come back at it tomorrow. We're back at it. It's currently the next day. Continuing removing the heat exchanger. We completely drained it out last night. one's done. Next up is this. Okay. Got it. So we're gonna be using this to plug the hole so he doesn't drain out, spill while you're on your way taking it off. There you go. One on each side. There you go. And it's completely out. Trimming this off so our big heat exchangers can fit perfectly, because as it looked like, it's gonna be that bracket that we're gonna cut off is gonna be replaced with this two right here. Let's get going. I don't know if you could see this, but we're gonna be trimming off this piece and this piece right here. successfully installed the radiator for the transmission, and the heat exchanger is successfully installed. All connections good, tight. Remember this bracket, make sure it's tight. So now that we have installed the heat exchanger, make sure all the connection, like the upper connection and the lower connection, make sure you put it back in. Make sure you have a bucket when you take it off. As you can see, even though I drained it out from the heat exchanger, it still has some in here. I have to remove this bracket right here. More sticker. It already comes with the screen to protect it from getting hit by a rock or going inside, causing more damage when something goes in. So all you have to do is install. So it looks like there's only 3. See? Now it's just a matter of me clearing up all the hoses on top of the intake manifold. Okay. From removing hoses and connections, that's gonna be on the way of us taking off the intake manifold. So pop this off. Pop that off. Right here, this hose is on the clip. Just pop it off. Go. Bolts that you're gonna have to remove would be this one and 2 the back here, and you could see right here is all 10mm bolt. All you have to do is pop it off. Now we just pull and twist. I don't know if you can remove this, but I'm gonna go try. Okay. So right now we're gonna be installing the CSF intake manifold. Before that, I actually installed the Visconti port injection wiring kit. I wasn't able to record a video, but I'm pretty sure you guys can find a way to research it. It's pretty much like the same as a flex fuel kit installation. The only differences I think would be the crank sensor that is right here, and pretty much I think that's the only thing that's different about it. So let's get this thing started. So here's a quick look of it. The top hose goes to the connection that goes through the front radiator, and the bottom one goes to the other. There's only 2, so that should be easy. There you go. Make sure it's fully connected. So right now we're about to torque the intake manifold bolts. I didn't record it because I was having a little bit of hard time putting on the bolts, so I basically had to like kind of squeeze in there. But anyways, so the way the torquing goes, what I've researched is that you have to do 5 pounds first. You do a sequence, and then after that sequence you do a 10 pound, which is the final torque specs of the intake manifold. So right now we're doing 5/4 inch. It's gonna be the fork bolt from the front first. So that's done. 5 Newton meter. Now we're gonna go bump it up to 10. So I wasn't able to record because I was having a really hard time installing the injector fuels. Fuel injectors. And the fuel injector rail. So all I pretty much did is just I plugged in the fuel injector first to the intake manifold, and then kind of align where the fuel injector connector is pointing at, where it has more wiggle room. The only one that I was having a hard time with was the one all the way in the back. The back is just you just gotta figure out or play around it, but right now I have the connector pointing kind of toward the passenger. So yeah, that's pretty much what I didn't record, but right now we're gonna be installing pretty much all the sensors and little connectors that needs to be placed back. I'm not gonna put this back in yet, just because we're still gonna kind of clean up the wiring. So as you can see, it's kind of all like just installed like in a rush, but I'm gonna go clean it up, and then we're gonna work ourselves to the front, because I think to the front the only thing we have to do was install the charge pipe and the intake pack, and then we're pretty much done to the front. Okay, so yeah. God. I'm just gonna torque it like a 12 Newton meter, so. Next on our list that we're gonna be installing is our brand new charge pipe. I would probably apply some light adhesive around this area and right on this area. Either a hairspray or one of these, like, you know, adhesive spray. You just need like a really light coat. Like, all I'm gonna do is like probably apply right here and on the other, like this. That's all you need. Make sure everything's tight. So the two bolts that holds the charge pipe to the throttle body, you just use like something a hand length, you know, ratchet, and we just pretty much do it by feel, or you know, do it by feel. You don't even need this. You just do it by pretty much hand tight. Tight. You don't need a lot of torque on these balls because it doesn't need it. So now we just go back and keep installing stuff, you know, like this right here needs to go back here, needs to go here, these need to go here. So at this point it's pretty much completely installed. You just gotta install everything back together the way you took it out. But for me, it's gonna be slightly different just because of the port injection wiring kit. But other than that, like yours, if you're not gonna go this route where I went, everything should just go back together, like pretty much a reverse process of everything that I've done or you've done. So at this point, I'm just gonna do a time lapse and then I'll see you guys in a bit. I almost forgot to record this, but you have to bleed your radiator system, your cooling system, basically your cooling system. So the way you do that is either doing it manually. There's a step-on-step tutorial or a guide how you do that in owner's manual, or you could look it up online. But the second way is by using some tool like this. This is like a vacuum bleeder for a cooling system. What it does is it applies pressure or vacuum to the system, and you could turn that pressure off, and then you could release the pressure, and then that pressure that's being released is being exchanged with water or a coolant. So the way I'm gonna do it right now is I'm gonna show you guys how to use a tool like this. Okay, so first you hook it up in a air pressure tank or air supply, pretty much, and then make sure if your tool that you're gonna get has this pulsed fluid line, you make sure you have a bucket for it, and then make sure you have your other end of the hose connected or dipped in their water or your coolant. So here you go. So I'm gonna apply pressure right now to pressurize the cooling system. So I'm gonna stop it like around like one line over the 25 and then now I'm gonna wait like probably like 30 seconds just to see if the vacuum dissipate. If it is like going down, then that means you have forgotten or one of the connection on the cooling hoses or the coolant hoses that you took off is probably not tightened or it's not connected properly. So you go back and check everything and make sure that they're all connected. Like for me, I was wondering why it wasn't going up earlier, and I almost forgot to plug this back in. So I plug it in and now it's building pressure, and now we just gotta wait a little bit, and then we start applying some new fluid in there. Okay. So for me, I'm using distilled water. You could go by your manual. So it's been about 30 seconds. Now I'm gonna start releasing some pressure into the cooling system, and then by doing that, you're gonna notice that the water is gonna start actually going inside the system. So you don't need this anymore because it's already been pressurized. And the way you do this is you slowly release the pressure. You see how like it went up? Now we just gotta watch out for that bottle to not get empty, because if it goes empty and then it's still sucking in air, then you're gonna have some air in the system. Make sure you shut this off, and then you transfer that line to the next bottle that has filled with water or coolant. Like right there is where I'm comfortable with. It still has like a little bit left, but I'm gonna go ahead and transfer it now. the way you know that it's done refilling the coolant with the cooling system is once the needle goes all the way down, or at this point it's like it's not going down anymore, then that's how you know that it's already been done. So you just shut it off. You wait for a couple seconds or a minute, because there might still be a little bubble like stuck in the reservoir, and then well, a few seconds, then you turn it back on and make sure that it's not putting in more water in. Once it'll take about 10 seconds, then you'll know that it's already been filled, because it's not your water bottle is not the water level is not going down. So very cool, actually. Okay, see how like the needle is not going down anymore, and then the product line is open. Well, that means it's already done refilling the system. So that's how you do it. So I'm gonna go continue putting everything back on, and then from here on out I'm probably just gonna do a time lapse. So I'll see you guys at the end of this. So we finally finished all the installation. The cooling mods has been all installed, and all the stock parts that needs to be put back has been installed back. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick tip on how to do it manually. The cooling or the coolant bleed. There's a way in the computer that you have to do it this way. So first make sure that you guys have your car connected to a tender battery, or you gotta have your car running for like a little bit so it charges the system, just to be sure that you're not gonna have a dead battery in between this between this coolant bleed. So the way you do that, the manual way of doing it. So go in and you press the start button 3 times quickly. And alright, it's not doing it. Alright. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Now that you see that we're in diagnostic mode, that means now you're good to go to do the sequence. Make sure that your headlight is on, and then hazard lights on, and you have to make sure that your temperature is on 84, which is the highest, and the fan speed is on the lowest setting. Okay, now you just gotta press the gas pedal until you see something pop up on the dash. Like that. And now you'll start hearing the water pump running. So you just let that function continue until the next light would turn on the dash. They'll say, oh, it's already finished. The sequence or service function is finished. So after that, you're pretty much done. If you still see bubbles inside this and it said it's finished already, you just gotta do the same sequence and you gotta redo the whole process of bleeding it. So that's pretty much it. So is start the car, first start.